It's making life musical, hey.
The first thing on my list of resolutions is to lose weight. There was a time where I was really healthy and I was losing weight and I felt really good, and I want to get back to that. I'm determined. I know I can do it. I just have to start doing it. So starting off at 245 pounds, it wasn't a number that I was proud of, and I think it was the heaviest that I had ever been. And before I get into it, I want to talk about what caused me to be at the point where I was so heavy. And, looking back at it, I think it was a sense of just not caring about how I look or not caring about how I felt. And I think that began the moment that they told me that I needed to have heart surgery, because I think I used it as an excuse, and I think I used it as a lot of things that I shouldn't have, because instead of eating healthier or taking care of myself, I would say, well, I've got that heart surgery coming up, there's no point. And then even afterwards, I was like, well, I can't do this because I'm still recovering. And it got to the point where I was just getting bigger and bigger. And New Year's resolutions, I make them every year, and I really wanted to stick to this one. And luckily I have. When I first began trying to relearn how to take care of myself, what to do, because there are some restrictions now that I have heart surgery stuff, I looked into Pratt and what he thought. And he has this thing where he says,
but really 8 months is not that long. I mean, what were you doing in May, right? And when you're looking back, 8 months goes by really quickly. When you're looking forward, it seems like it's crazy. It's a long prospect. Even 8 hours can be a long time. It just takes a little bit of consistency, and time is gonna go by just as fast whether you're doing it or not. So who do you wanna be 8 months from now?
And I looked at myself, and I wasn't happy with who I was, and now 8 months later, 9 months later, I'm happy with what I look like and the clothes that I can wear. Starting off, I wasn't necessarily the healthiest about it, because I was really kind of beating myself up on it, because why did I let myself get to this point? And I probably wasn't eating as much as I should, and that's something that they tell you to do. You got to eat. But one thing that I really, really worked on was cutting out all of the unnecessary foods that I was eating. I was eating so much junk, so much pasta and carbs and everything, and I realized that the best thing for me, it's different for everybody, but the best thing for me was to cut out things like carbs and things like snacking and everything. And the way that I kind of worked that is, if I was eating a burger or something, well, I got to have 2 burgers if I didn't have a burger with the bun. And so therefore I was getting more nutritious food, and that worked out really well for me. And in the beginning of February, when I first started to take it seriously, I wasn't really taking all my measurements as much as I should have. I didn't have a scale. I didn't have a scale to weigh food even. I would just buy a bunch of chicken and separate it out however much I felt necessary. So it left me eating a very small amount of chicken, which I shouldn't have done. But I was using that. I had my dinner for the night. I can't eat anything else. And I think it kind of probably starved me more than it should have. But over the summer, I began to understand more, and I got a scale. I got a scale to weigh food and to weigh myself. My last checkup before the semester ended, it was around February, I think, and I was at 245 pounds. And then by the time May came around, school was over, I did get a scale, and I weighed myself. I was at 225 pounds, and I lost 20 pounds in a way that it was very fast, and it might not have, looking back, it might not have been the best. But over the summer, I was very good about it. I weighed out my meals, and I did have cheat meals here and there to make sure that I was going to make this a long-term change. And the way that I did it was I was just consistent in the things that I did, and I worked out so much this summer. I got to the point where I really found out that I love running, which is crazy for me. The doctor told me in January this year, he said, the best thing for you to do is to be doing cardio work, and it'll keep you from having to have heart surgery again. So of course I'm gonna love running even more, because I don't want to have heart surgery again if that is preventable. So I'm really into running now, and I've been getting into weightlifting, but because of the surgery, I can't lift really heavy things. So to me, that means I'm sitting at weights for a very long time. I will be doing bench presses with no weights on it, because I have to do like 100, 150, 200, however many reps of it, because I can't add weight. It's better for me to just get a lot of reps, which is good. Like it does add something with that. it is more time consuming than me just going outside or getting on a treadmill and running. One of my biggest problems when it came to losing weight was that I would love to snack on things, and I kind of cut that habit, but then it came back when I was just sitting around all day, not working out, recovering from surgery, and I had a hard time cutting that until I realized that I could eat sunflower seeds to fill my boredom, and then it was a lot better. So sunflower seeds have about 150 calories per serving, and a serving of sunflower seeds is a ton of sunflower seeds. And so it's got a lot of sodium, but it's better than you going and eating pretty much anything that's in your cabinet. So I lost about 25 pounds from February to May, and then over the summer I lost another 25 pounds from May to August, beginning of school. I was at 200 coming into the school year. And ever since I've been back at school, it has slowed down, but I'm at the point where I'm more comfortable with how I'm looking, and this shirt did not fit me. I could not wear this out in front of people before I started losing weight, and there are so many shirts like that. Since this is a music related channel, I wanted to relate this to music somehow, and I want to talk about how this has affected me in my performing. I am a performance major, so I do perform in front of people a lot. And last year, I wasn't confident in how I looked in front of people. And that plays a big fact in you being up in front of them, because you can sound great, but if you're not confident in how you look, that can play a role. And now that I look better, it makes me happier to play in front of them. But all this being said, I just wanted to make this video to explain kind of how I did it. I've gotten so many compliments coming back from the summer into the school year, posting things on Instagram. People are very, very nice, and I appreciated it. And I feel like maybe people might be interested in how I did it. Maybe there's somebody out there that's not happy with how they look, and just my advice is to figure out what works best for you eating wise. For me, it was no carbs, and then figure out an exercise that you do that you could love. And for me, that was running. For you, it could be weightlifting. I do feel like I've still got progress that needs to be made. Obviously, I'm not perfect, but I'm a work in progress, and just I try to think. Chris Pratt says, what do you want to look like 8 months from now? Well, what do I want to look like 8 months from now? And I'm kind of just rolling with that. But anyways, guys, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Go make life musical, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's making life musical. Hey.